Today, the man accused of covering up and moving on some of the Catholic Church's worst pedophiles was finally forced to testify in a Victorian court. For decades, the former Bishop of Ballarat has avoided explaining how he dealt with complaints about numerous priests abusing dozens of children. 7:30 reporter Louise Milligan has tracked down a police investigator from the 1990s operation which tried unsuccessfully to press criminal charges against the bishop for covering up sexual abuse, and a teacher who can prove she told the bishop about what was going on. This is her exclusive report.
Ronald Mulcairns, once the Bishop of Ballarat, holds many secrets. For 40 years he has avoided answering questions about complaints of sexual abuse by priests in his diocese. He's also avoided answering allegations he moved priests on to cover up their crimes.
Everything took place on his watch, not only in Ballarat, but right across the Western Districts of Victoria.
Today, a Geelong magistrate compelled Mulcairns to testify in one case, ruling he was mentally able to give evidence. Mulcairns could no longer avoid questions about Father Robert Claffey, who is accused of 14 counts of indecent assault.
Do you regret any of your actions in the past?
In a short appearance, Bishop Mulcairns told the court on more than a dozen occasions that he could not recall events surrounding Claffey's alleged crimes. But the former bishop did remember that the priest had been misbehaving. When asked how, he replied, "In a sexual way. I don't remember detail."
You seem to remember every milestone you achieved in the church. How don't you recall this situation?
But Ronald Mulcairns remained silent about another infamous case, that of Gerald Francis Ridsdale, Ballarat's most prolific abuser, who molested hundreds of children in the diocese over 3 decades. Ridsdale gave evidence to the Royal Commission into child sexual abuse.
Did it occur to you at the time that you were hurting the children?
Oh, Your Honour, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
The Royal Commission would be very interested to learn what Mulcairns knew about Ridsdale's offending. Bishop Mulcairns was told by police in 1975 that Ridsdale had abused children, and yet for 18 years Ridsdale continued to work as a priest, moved by the bishop from parish to parish.
I believe Bishop Mulcairns to be culpable, and any senior person could have contacted the local police and said, "We've got this problem, what is it?" And they would have been told straight away, "This is crime and we will investigate these criminals." They chose not to say anything.
Long arms.
Chris O'Connor was head of Victoria Police's Child Exploitation Squad when it was formed in 1993. One of the squad's first jobs was Operation Arcadia, an investigation into whether Bishop Ronald Mulcairns had committed a crime by helping cover up the crimes of Gerald Ridsdale.
In today's parlance, the Catholic Church was more concerned about its name, its organisation, its brand, than it was about the very reason for it being, and that was the protection of the most vulnerable.
Operation Arcadia was hamstrung by a lack of resources and the looser laws around child sexual abuse at the time, which classed the original crimes as misdemeanours. Its attempt to prosecute Bishop Mulcairns for misprision of a felony failed. But what it revealed about the character of the bishop left Chris O'Connor dismayed.
Given that he was a man of the cloth, he was morally bankrupt to behave in a manner where he knew, or at least expected, that by leaving this person or moving this person to another church or district or region would in itself expose other potential victims. At no level could you argue in support of that.
Anne Ryan was a teacher at St Coleman's, the primary school in the tiny Western Victorian town of Mortlake, where the Royal Commission heard Ridsdale abused every boy he could lay his hands on.
He had a very strutting style when he came amongst us, and I just didn't like him.
In 1982, the principal of the school, Sister Kate McGrath, was told by parents that Ridsdale was abusing their children. That same day, she arranged for Bishop Mulcairns to be told. Days later, Ridsdale was removed from the parish. But the bishop didn't tell police. He also failed to help the child victims. Documents tendered to the Royal Commission show that Sister Kate tried to arrange counselling for the families.
Some of the parents wished to hold a meeting. The bishop said no, there was to be no meeting. I asked that something be done for those children, and to the best of my memory, the response was that we could do nothing for the children.
Sister Kate told me in recent times that he told her that would be admitting guilt to do anything for the children, or to do anything at all.
So what's your response to that?
Horror, like, it's just totally inhumane response.
Heartless. At any level and above any social, spiritual responsibility the man had. That was heartless.
Anne Ryan didn't know why Mulcairns had removed Ridsdale in 1982. When she found out 7 years later from a parent of an abused child, she wrote and reported it to the bishop.
Some years back, 1980 to 81, some very unfortunate happenings took place between the parish priest of the time and some young schoolboys.
The bishop wrote back.
And so here it says, I assure you of my own concern for all members of the diocesan community. However, it's difficult to reach out to people when one only hears of vague rumours of a general kind. Were you aware that at the time when this was sent, he was organising for Gerald Ridsdale to be sent to a treatment facility for pedophile priests in New Mexico?
I had no idea, Louise, no idea.
Left behind in towns like Mortlake were the victims.
The town of Mortlake, we understand, imploded over the Ridsdale saga. Sons fought fathers because the fathers didn't believe the sons had been abused. The whole family networks just started tearing themselves apart because of what had happened. A shocking tragedy in that town.
The Royal Commission will announce tomorrow whether it will compel Bishop Mulcairns to give evidence about what he knew later this year. For the victims and disillusioned Catholics he's left behind, it can't come soon enough.
I think it is a very flawed and dysfunctional institution. I've never been back, and gradually all my beliefs and all the doctrine left my life.